What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with True Table. Welcome to the table. You already know what I do when I jump on this camera. I get in the kitchen, I get in cooking. Today's no different. Ladies and gentlemen, this topic right here, probably one of the most important things about relationships, communication. Why is it so complicated? Why is it so difficult in the modern day? Damn, we got Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Uber Eats. We got robots that deliver food, but people still seem to suck at this very basic thing called communication. I'm gonna explain to you why I believe communication is so difficult from the male perspective, but as well as from the female perspective on what I believe is the challenges. Ladies, sit down, get your iced tea, mimosas, whatever it is, because this section right here is for you. Women, you guys suck at communicating. That's right, suck. Why can I say that with so much energy? Because I believe that most women believe they're communicating, but they communicate the way they communicate. Let me give you an example, ladies. A woman talking to a man is a completely different exchange than a woman talking to a woman. I have observed in real time that when women are talking to women, you guys can communicate verbally as well as non-verbally. You don't believe me? I'll give you a perfect example. You're at the nightclub. Let's paint the scene. You're out. You're with your girl. Some weird guy walks up on you. You don't see him. He sees you. Your friend sees him. You can talk without even saying words. The eyes say it all. You know, you do the little blinky blink, the little subtle this, whatever. And you guys grab each other's shoulders and you shift to the left. We're going to the restroom and you dart off to run to safety. You guys have established that communication for safety reasons in this type of scenario worked for you. Men don't have that type of style of communication. We're a lot more direct and instruction based. Now, when I say women suck at communicating, I mean it's because you guys do not often pull yourself out of your own head, your own emotions, and how you feel about words, how you feel about what is either being said or what you're saying, how it's being said, so on and so forth. I believe women need to spend more time taking a second to process the words that they're hearing, remove the tone on how it's being delivered, because it's not always about how you freaking feel. It's more about the information. Words are designed to give you instruction, education, insight, information, enlightenment. They're very powerful things. The problem is that a lot of women spend so much time trying to filter how it feels the words that they're hearing. What I believe needs to happen is that more women need to grow in their development and start to use logic less than emotion. An intelligent person is going to ask a question when they hear something that does not quite sound right or feel right. So if a man is saying something to you, ladies, that you're curious about, instead of attacking him, instead of hitting them with a whole bunch of questions and then starting to spin it to make yourself the victim, why not ask, what do you mean? This can create a whole different dynamic of safety. I had a woman ask me, well, why don't men tell us what they feel? I'll tell you why. They're terrified. Not terrified that you're gonna beat him up. They're terrified of the 48 questions that's gonna come after he actually speaks his mind. Because what women do really well, the assassins that you guys are, is you take all kinds of information. You guys can pull crap back from February 4th, 1992, when he said one comment when he was around his friends that he totally forgot about, and you will use it in your argument today. That's what men are terrified of, because it's like walking into a courtroom without a lawyer, with your pants dropped and your ass out. She is ready to give you the verbal pounding. That's why men don't communicate the way women want us to communicate. And I believe that this is the responsibility of the woman. You have to understand, ladies, that when a man is interacting with a woman, 90% of the time, he's always coming from a place of softness, care, compassion, and things of that nature, because we generally do care about you guys. When you create a hostile environment, when you make it to where our words are now used as weapons against us, well, we're not dumb, we're very smart. So we start doing things like using less words. You know what else we start doing? We start shutting the heck up. We don't talk as much to you because we don't trust you. If you want that man to communicate better with you, then I encourage you, ladies, to create an environment that allows you to communicate to get the information you want and also be willing to take his words the way he says it. What women do, they even do it to me. When I say something, they'll say, don't say it like that. I don't like that. Well, what you are doing now in this exchange, ladies, and I don't even think you understand, is now you are presenting a verbal physical threat. Because see, when men say, yo, don't talk to me like that, men can handle our exchanges different. See, if another man is talking to me crazy and I say, hey, dude, you need to bring your voice down, and he continues to talk to me crazy, well, then I can handle him in a manly fashion. However, if I'm communicating with a woman, I am unequipped with the ability to handle it the way my natural nature is. So now I have to step into a woman's arena that is words and things like that. And most men, unfortunately, ladies, and I'm gonna talk to the men in a second, are not equipped with the ability to communicate effectively. Not your fault, but you can help nurture that. If you know that you're more wordy than your man, you know that you got a thesaurus, you know that you go to Barnes & Noble and buy a new book every week, and you know that this man uses very few words, you ask him a question, he's like, yeah, sure, okay. And he's not overly wordy, then you as a woman do not need to use that as a weapon and create an opportunity of opposition. Because when you question that man, when you question him with things that now are related to you, I'll give you an example. If you ask the man, how do I look in this dress? And he says, you don't look good in that dress. Do not start to say, so you don't think I look good? So you're not attracted to me? Is that why we haven't had sex in 2 weeks? Boom, 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 boom. All that crap, that is gonna create a hostile communication between you and this party. And men from that point will never tell you, but they do not trust you. They do not trust you. So if you want better trust with your man, take a second, ladies, to hear what the man says. I always say this, hear me, don't feel me. Take this advice. It will change your communication life. I promise you. So I'm gonna segue over to the men. Men, with all the energy I just gave the women, oh no, you guys got some responsibility too. Just because women are naturally more inclined to use their words, because this is how they're designed. Women are not physically strong as we are. Women are not physically as dominant as we are. So the way that they get their thoughts across, the way that they handle their discrepancies is they use their words. You know, this is just how they're designed. You as a man have to understand that. Same as I'm saying with the women, if a woman says something that is out of line or that you don't understand or you don't agree with, you need to ask more questions. But be careful. When you ask the question, you need to understand, oh, she's gonna have a lot to say. Now, if you don't know how to stay locked in and engaged into the conversation, then what I encourage is that you need to figure out as the man, what is the most optimal time to talk about certain things. Sometimes conversations are not designed to have right now. I'll give you an example. I was out the other night and I was talking to a young lady. We was having some beef, you know. She was running her mouth. I ain't like it. So we needed to talk. Now, before we decided to transition into the next phase of the conversation, she assumed we were gonna have this conversation in public. She assumed that we were gonna go maybe in a restaurant, sit across from each other with a whole bunch of weirdos and nobodies and strangers around, and we were gonna have a conversation that was personal around other people. I had a different plan. So when I arrived at the destination, I asked her to get into my vehicle. And I was like, let's talk. And she was like, right here? And I was like, yes. And she was like, well, no, let's go talk here. And I was like, no, we're gonna talk right here. Now, she didn't immediately agree. I had to wrestle a little bit because she was being her little strong, dominant self, you know, because, you know, I'm woman, hear me roar, rah, all that crap. But I was like, we need to have this conversation right here, close the door, and we did. And we found clarity. We had a great conversation and was better understanding from that. But what I had to do is I had to be wise enough, one, not to be scared, because most men would have taken the fact that she cute and she pretty and the tatas was talking to you and the perfume was popping and you get all dumb in your head and be like, okay, and all that crap. No, F that. I needed to have the conversation the way I knew it was gonna be best designed for my style of communicating, for maybe her style of communicating, and I needed the environment to be controlled. So I took control of that and we had a great conversation. Clarity was met. but I made sure that it was best suited for my style. I didn't want to be out in the public. I didn't want people watching. I didn't want people perceiving or assuming. And a lot of times what men do is you guys don't understand that it's also your responsibility to create the environment. If you had a hard day and she want to talk about something deep and serious and you don't got the space to talk about it, don't. Look her in her face, grab her ass, grab, maybe a breast or behind her neck and be like, babe, I'm not in the space to talk. Can we talk about this tomorrow? Can we talk about this later? Don't forget what you want to talk about, but we'll address it. 9 times out of 10, if a woman cares about you, she'll understand and she'll allow. She'll also appreciate the fact that you are willing to have the conversation. I'm gonna go back over to the women though. Real quick, ladies. When the man communicates with you and tells you that he's gonna have the conversation when he says he's gonna have it, make sure you don't harass him about when, how, and all that stuff, because that's what you guys do bad as well. If the man tells you that, hey, we're gonna have this conversation tomorrow evening, if you want more information, ladies, ask him around what time. Okay, babe, you get home at 5, 6. I know you gotta sit down, drink your 6-pack, kick your feet up. Are we gonna have it before we go to bed? What? Get more information. And make sure you use the right tone, ladies, because you guys have a tendency to start shooting darts and stuff at the man, and men just don't work that way. Back to the men. A lot of what you're going to experience in your relationship, men, is going to be the words you say, the instruction you give her, making her aware of your heart, your intentions, your desires, your wants, your needs. This may sound all fluffy and crap, but it's true. Because if a woman cares about you, she is going to be concerned about your well-being, your mental state, your health, and all of that. But she can only be her best self if you give her information as well as instruction. When she start going off and spiraling out of control because they do this, trust me, they're a little retarded. This is just how they're wired. You gotta understand this. You have to reel her back in, get her to focus, ask her questions, and learn your woman. Because once you get this right, gentlemen, it becomes very beautiful and communication becomes fun. You have a better relationship, you'll have better interactions, you'll have better exchanges, and that woman will ultimately fall for you harder than she probably even thought she was capable of, because now she feels connected, because that's how women connect. Communication is very important. We're probably gonna have to do a part 2 to this, but I'm gonna end it right there. Women, understand that men don't communicate like you, that you need to be patient, that you need to take your time, and instead of being offended, ask more questions. On the same token, men, women don't communicate like us. They feel before they hear. So it's your job to understand how to use your words, be impactful with your words, and don't just be communicating to be communicating, but be communicating to better your style, better her understanding, better your exchange. If communication is what you guys want to have in your relationship, you ultimately can, but it's gonna take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience. So this is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table signing out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a few minutes today, and I'll be back with another video real soon. Be easy.